Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Seeing Beyond and Through with Monty. Right here is a chump, a coward, an abuser, a monster, a woman beater, all the bad things in which you can think of. And, my gosh, he's been accused of a very heinous crime. Offensive lineman Chad Wheeler arrested on suspicion of felony domestic violence, waived by the Seattle Seahawks. Good move, Seahawks. And wait till you get into what happened. Ex-Giant Chad Wheeler thought he choked his girlfriend to death. Apparently, she was choked out. Then she came back to consciousness. And he remarked, "Oh, you're still alive." A white football player was arrested and charged with allegedly beating and choking out his black girlfriend near Seattle on January 24th, 2021, because she reportedly refused to bow to him. So he wanted her to bow to him like he's her Lord and Master, like he's her Lord and Savior, like he's some type of a god or deity that's worthy for you to bow down. And she refused. Good for her. When the woman regained consciousness, she reportedly ran into the bathroom and locked the door, with Wheeler allegedly saying, "Ah, you're still alive." The unidentified black woman frantically called the police, saying her boyfriend was killing her. The newspaper reports, by the time local police raced to the scene, Wheeler had picked the lock and entered the bathroom. Officers heard high-pitched screams as they approached the apartment and busted into the domicile. They found Wheeler standing next to the bleeding woman in the bathroom. Okay, make no mistake. He was going to kill her. He wanted to murder her. Oh, boo-hoo. Wheeler reportedly suffers from bipolar disorder, but had not been taking his medication recently. Was booked into the King County Jail. Stop right there. Stop right there. So apparently this is what was told to them, because how would they know that he hasn't been taking them recently? So they're buying the story right there. This should have been allegedly was not taking his medication, but yet they're speaking of it as if though it's a fact. The only one who would know would be Wheeler himself, I would think. So that's a joke there. He's being held on $400,000 bail and was ordered to relinquish all weapons. Damn, he had weapons? He is also prohibited from having any contact with the victim, whom the media will not name. The poor woman was taken to a local hospital to treat her facial wounds. I'll put poor woman in there. The Seahawks wrote a quick, terse statement Monday evening about the violent episode that took place near Kent, Washington, a 20-mile drive south of Seattle. Here's the victim right here. Now, I want to say something with this here. I do not want anyone saying that, oh, well, she's not really black. She's biracial. The divestment crowd who want to divest from black men, who are not talking about this, by the way, may try to chime in and say that. No, this is a black woman. He choked out a black woman. And here's the awful aftermath of the assault. And you know what's going to be lingering, usually when in cases like this here? The mental effects. Just the nightmares, the lingering effects of the violence that happened, the trauma. That's going to linger because you had someone who supposedly cared about you and loved you, but yet they tried to murder you. And this poor woman here is definitely going to need therapy. We talk about post-traumatic stress disorder. She will be having that. Tariq Nasheed, well, first of all, Mama Bear said, "Oh my God, this needs to go viral." Under there, Tariq Nasheed wrote, NFL player Chad Wheeler allegedly beat his black girlfriend unconscious after he demanded that she bow down to him, and she refused. Where is the divestment Twitter to chime in on this? I find that strange also, because no one in the divestment movement has even been talking about this, have even brought this up. But yet they continue to talk about this. Were these two identified men, identified racial men? We do not know their racial background. A black female, they beat her, kicked her, stomped her. And all of the divestment women, and let me make this clear, this is not an attack on black women. I am speaking to the ones who are talking about divestment, who covered this. They sure in the hell covered this. And guess what? They called these men black. And guess what? These men have not been found yet, which tells me if they have not been found yet, they must be part of some type of feared gang. They must be part of a Dominican gang. This is a gang members here who murdered 15-year-old Junior Gomez, Junior Guzman, last year. Many Dominicans do not consider themselves black. They do not. But many of the divestment people, these divestment women, call these guys here black. Let me point out something too that I mentioned yesterday. They were very quick to say that Cardi B is not black. Okay, I get that. Danny Lee is not black. Okay, I get that. Gina Rodriguez is not black. Okay, I get that. But yet these men here are black. And as I pointed out in a previous video, if Cardi B, Gina Rodriguez, Danny Lee had brothers, they would look like this. They would look like this. So in the meantime, we do not know what race these men are. So stop calling them black until we know. And if they are black, then they are black. They need to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. What they did to that woman was very cowardly and very animalistic and shouldn't be tolerated. But what else should not be tolerated too is that we're going to pick and choose who's black, and we're going to pick and choose who we cover. We're going to ignore this right here. This is going to be ignored. We're not going to talk about this, but yet we're going to talk about this and gloat with delight as to how bad all black men are. We're going to collectively judge all black men by what supposedly these supposedly black men did. We're going to throw all black men under an umbrella and have them live off the sins of these two right here. But with this right here, with Chad Wheeler, what happened to her? We're quiet as a mouse. We're not saying a damn thing about this. It's not worthy for us to cover this because it doesn't fit or suit our agenda, which tells me that divestment agenda is a bunch of crap. It's not really based upon how men treat black women. It's based upon how black men treat black women. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is another edition of Seen Beyond and Through with Monty, and I will see you beyond and through.